Hello, everybody.
So, I hope that sound was not too loud. But I had to keep dancing without music, so trust me, I had to time that in my head a bit.
Oh, it's okay. I have a video. I will send it to you after for Instagram, so you'll definitely be able to see how I was jamming too. Absolutely.
So, look, I'm so glad to have my love bug with me. They are absolutely amazing. Welcome to the Transverse family, Kevin. And, I've known you now for almost 2 years, getting there.
Yeah, because,
yeah,
two's real. So, yeah.
I know. So it's been you've also seen me grow and develop and be in these spaces. I want to, I figured, I'm all in my gear. So I'm ready for a full workout since I figured we're going to be doing some butts and guts and stuff like that. So if you're at home and you're trying to do some butts and guts, it's okay to get a little loose and get your body together. That's what we came here to do. But Kevin, you look like you kind of chill. Did I come dressed in the wrong way for this kind of
No, you are totally fine.
Okay.
And one of the things that I always like to, make sure people focus on is you have to remember that in order for us to continue moving as much as we want to, we got to work on it. So we got to find ways to make that movement really work for us. So that is what I do for my business. My name is, once again, Kevin Otis. I'm the owner of Kinesic Opportunities. So we restore movement, mobility, and massage as far as the amount of joy that we present.
Now, did you just say that we doing telekinesis? Or what did you say?
No, so Kinesic Opportunities, basically what it means is that with the amount of body language that we use every day, all the time, in order for us to be able to express ourselves truly as much as we can, we want to be able to share that. And we want to be able to express that through our bodies. So in order to make sure that people understand with communication, because we do have a lot of people who struggle with communication nowadays, even with social media, I'm always a work in progress, but using that allows us to not only help others as far as understanding what we do, but it also allows us to really tune into ourselves and our bodies. So one of the things that I focus on is massage therapy. At the same time, I am also a mobility specialist. So I help people move better.
Okay. So then I did kind of see, I brought my weights. I got my weights down here.
Oh, look, you still got one. I'm showing you some tricks today.
I'm about to get
yeah. Absolutely.
I'm glad, because honestly, as someone who loves to move, I have to say it. I feel I'm a very embodied person. So I think about a lot of my friends who are either deeply embodied or who right now, we're all sitting and looking at computers and Zoom, and our neck is here half the time. And, I get strains in my neck, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then and then in the morning I forget to stretch. And these are very, very natural things. And so what it sounds like you're saying is even just natural mobility, just the simple basic to sitting, to helping us really get into that part of our body. Absolutely. And respecting that function, but also maximizing that function.
Yes.
So we don't get stuck and stifled, even if we sitting here looking like some, I like to look like I got a little something going on here, trying to develop from my COVID experience,
said a little something, exactly, a little something. Anyway,
yeah.
You know you're good. So Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And one of the things that I have been promoting now and am continuing to promote are my mobility sessions. A lot of it is able to be done either in person or virtually. So if you are in the Twin Cities, hey, go ahead, come visit me. I'm down in Egan. I know I'm south of the river, but trust me, it is well worth it. Or if you absolutely can't, like, for instance, today with all the snow, go ahead, you can message me and we'll actually be able to do a virtual call as well. Now,
Hey, family, good to see y'all. I'm just seeing all these people, got to give them a good old wave. So thank you for joining us. Yes. So, all right, we are going to kick into gear. Can we get some, I guess we're going to have to stretch out the screen a bit so we can see these arms and everything. And I'm going to make sure I'm centered. All right, you got extra arm weight. So I'm glad you got enough screen there,
okay.
Kevin.
So I kid you not, and I'm so serious when I say this, my arm span is 7 inches taller than my height.
Okay, so tell us how tall you are.
5'11", 6 foot, depending on if you're slouching or not.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I know you're about 6 foot because every time I stand next to you, I am like vertically challenged. Right? So,
yeah.
So my arm span is nothing. I'm just letting y'all know now, like what y'all see Kevin got going on, that's a whole, like that's 2 window spans. Okay, I don't even have 2 windows. I'm in a New York apartment, so y'all see the level of like what probably his fitness work and everything could do for us today. All right, Kevin, I'm gonna let you go ahead and bring us in, love bug.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead, start off. First thing is going to be with the head and neck. Now, I want you to go ahead and think. If you are sitting at your computer, on the floor, in the bed, because you're getting ready to go ahead and go to bed, which is totally fine. These are definitely some great techniques that you can go ahead and pick up. You've probably seen a good amount of these on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, the like, just to make sure that we understand what we're doing. A lot of this, you will want to breathe. Breathing is essential. Once again, I'm going to say it again. Breathing is essential. Repeat after me. Breathing.
Breathing.
Essential.
Is essential.
Yes, absolutely. So at the same time that we're focusing on this, we also have to think about extremes. So like when you consider like, you know, when we talk about like, okay, think about when you were in middle school. And you know that was nothing but extremes. So you had people who were extremely all over the place on one spectrum, extremely all over the place on another spectrum, just, controlled chaos. Well, we're going to use the chaos that is our bodies, and we're going to use it to help control our breathing, as well as give us some more mobility. So first things first, I'm going to start off with tilting the head forward and back. So I'm going to tilt it up and tilt it down. I'm going to be doing it 4 times. I would love for you to join in with me. So not yet.
So the rest of you, Justice, go ahead and zoom in on Kevin only, and I'm going to let y'all just watch for a few minutes while I do this too.
Yes, and don't forget, I want to hear a result after this, and please leave the results in the comments. It's going to be so much fun. So starting off, first thing that we're going to do is, like I said, each time that we hit an extreme, we're going to be trying to inhale. And then as we come back to our center, or how we would normally look staring at a camera, we would go ahead and have that be our normal. So we're going to go up, inhale, and exhale back to center. And inhale. So this time we're going to go down. So you should still be able to breathe. Remember, breathing is essential. And exhale back to center. Good. So now that you understand the pattern, we're going to go ahead and do that 3 more times. So inhale up. And exhale. And inhale down. And exhale. Good. We got 2 more times. This time I want you to jut out your jaw. So you're going to just force your jaw forward, and you're going to be able to do the same thing 1 more time. So you're going to feel a really good stretch. All right, so here we go. Inhale up. Jut that jaw forward. And exhale. Good. And chin down, inhale. And really try and reach towards your chest. And exhale. Good. Hopefully we're feeling good so far. Remember, breathing's essential. One more time. Exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Good. So after that, next thing that we're going to go to is going to be our head rotations. Jay, how you doing?
I'm doing okay over here. I'm you know, I've been thinking about Whitney Houston and waiting to exhale and stuff. So as we, I'm ready.
Love it. Look, already know that's exactly where we're going. Don't cheat now. So first thing that we're going to do is going to be side rotations. Now, as you're doing this, don't try and lean back and don't bow your head forward. But what I want you to think about is turning your head to the side and then trying to look behind you. Okay, so from there, we're going to go ahead and turn towards the other side, looking behind you, and bring it back in. The slower you take this, the better, but you can go at whatever pace works for you. So we're going to do it a total of 4 times, okay? Remember, inhaling and exhaling at the extremes. So right. Inhale towards one way.
This is good for everybody. Watch their back now.
And exhale. Good. Other side. Inhale. Look behind you. And exhale. Good. Whew. Other side. Inhale. Good. Exhale back to center. And inhale. And exhale back to center. Good. So already you're going to kind of notice that as you're turning into it, it does make it a little tougher, but not impossible. But you're probably going to feel a good stretch in there. So last but not least, we're going to go ahead and focus on shoulders. Now, one of the things that we already want to keep in mind is that as you're reaching out, and this is how we're going to start this stretch, I want to give you some pointers. You're probably going to feel some nerviness or like a burning sensation, like as far as nerves. It happens quite a lot. Oh, so sorry. It happens quite a lot, but at the same time, you want to make sure that you are focusing on basically letting yourself, calm your way through it. So we're going to start off by reaching out towards the sides as wide as we can and act as if someone's like really pulling on the fingertips. Then from there, we're going to go ahead and reach down towards the floor. So now you're probably going to feel that stretch start to push your shoulders down.
Oh.
Good. So now what we're going to do, and don't worry, shoulders are coming up next. We're going to go ahead and do a lateral tilt. So you're trying to get your ear to your shoulder as best as you can while still pushing down on the shoulders. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting stretch, and you're definitely going to be able to feel a lot of that.
I can honestly tell you, I can tell that folk are doing this at home because nobody's typing nothing. Come on, y'all. I love y'all. Y'all better lean into it and rock with it, honey. Y'all, I know y'all typing nothing.
All right, let's go ahead, tilt towards the other side. Good. So now note just how much you're feeling stretch-wise. And of course, breathing is essential. So you should be able to breathe through this. Now, this is a bit more of a stretch, but as we're going to continue, remember, we're pushing these shoulders down. So it's really pulling a lot of that tissue that's in our neck. It's pulling it up. All right.
So someone who's dealing with a pinched nerve too, like I've been having a lot of pinched nerve. Kevin is very familiar with this. And this kind of motion has been very, very helpful to kind of stretch down, reach to the point where you feel it in your fingers all the way and bend, right? And just focusing here to make sure that your ear is touching your shoulder because it's very, and then you come back and just breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Breathing is essential. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whew.
All right. So now that we are done with the neck and dealing with the head, we're now going to go on to shoulders. So with the shoulders, and for this one, I'm going to actually turn to the side so you can understand what I'm doing. So what we're doing is we're actually starting with shoulder mobility and movement. So we're going to be taking the shoulders up towards the head. We're going to be pushing them down, and then we're also going to push them forward, protraction, and then push them back, which is retraction. Okay, so just allow yourself to focus on those extremes again. Remember, breathing up, relax, breathing down, relax, breathing forward, relax, breathing back, relax. And they are going to be huge, different sensations. So already coming up, it's bunching up the shoulders, but it's allowing your lungs to expand more. Then from there, being able to push down on the shoulders is going to lock all of that in. So you're actually doing a slight core exercise without, us really saying anything. So take advantage. Then from there, pushing forward, it's helping to engage the chest, as well as pulling back is helping to engage the back muscles. So keep in mind, I'm a personal trainer too, and this is part of what I give my clients. So starting off, we're going to go ahead, inhale up. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, inhale up. And exhale. This time we're going to push down. Inhale. And you feel how that locks in there? And exhale. Now we're going to push forward. Inhale. You felt that stretch in the back. I know you did. And then relax. And last one, we're going to pull the shoulders back. If you need to, pull with the elbows too. So pull them back. And exhale. Good. So we're going to do that one more time for each of those. Take it as fast or as slow as you want. Remember, breathing is
essential.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. So inhale up. And exhale. Good. Inhale down. Here we go. And exhale. Good. Inhale forward. And exhale. And back. And exhale. Good. Go ahead, shake it out now. So now we continue on. This is where it's going to be very interesting. So don't mind me, pits are sweaty, but at the same time that happens. So we're working. I know we're working. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to start off by doing some arm circles. These are wonderful for getting some of that nerve glide going. So like for those who are dealing with fibromyalgia, as well as for those who have basically neuropathy, this can actually be something that will wake up those nerves a little bit. Keep in mind, if you feel any of that burning, any of that nervy sensation, do not, I repeat, do not immediately back off and let go unless it is causing pain. Now, there is a difference between good pain and bad pain. Most of what we've already experienced has been that good pain type of sensation. Can you agree, Jay?
Yeah, I can agree. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now if you're feeling like, oh my God, someone's stabbing me, like, please don't.
Don't do it. Don't do
it. Please don't, go ahead, back off. It's okay. So here we go. First thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the palms, face them forward, thumbs out. And remember, we're reaching through those fingertips. We're reaching, acting like someone's pulling us. The elbows are following and the shoulders are following. So we're going to start off with our hands down towards our sides. We're going to go ahead and start pulling up and through. There we go. No one needs bad pain. Absolutely no one. All right, so now we're up here at the very top, and I want you to really reach those shoulders up. You should be able to still breathe here. Remember, breathing is essential, okay? There we go. And so then from there, we're going to go ahead and start reaching our fingers towards the wall behind us. We're going to take this movement very slow. This is what I like to refer to as a slow burn. And from here, we're actively reaching back behind us. You're going to start to feel your back get pretty warm as you keep reaching through. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. Keep reaching. Reaching. There you go. You're going to feel a lot of these, like I said, burn spots.
Woo.
If you feel any of them, you're able to hold that position for a few seconds if you need to, and it will go away slowly. But remember, keep breathing through it. Breathing is essential. So we're going to go ahead and do one more circle around. And this time, as you're doing it, we're going to basically take our hands, stop in the name of love.
Yes.
I had to do a quick credit. Go ahead and focus on rotating the palms up, palms down. So that's going to rotate the shoulders all the way through as we're going around the circle. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and start in the stop position. Act like you're pushing something away. Push away all that negativity. Push it. There we go. Now from there, we're going to go ahead and twist those hands just like this. Good. Now from there, we're going to slowly work our way up.
Oh, this is like the itsy bitsy spider.
It is, I know. And the sun came out again.
Wow.
Because that's what happened.
This is like one of them slow. Now tell me something. Why are we doing these so slow instead of so fast? Because a lot of people would do this at work, right? Try to take a break from a computer, and then they go and move really fast and do a quick stretch. What is this? Why is this different if we do it slower? Would you recommend that we do it fast or slower if we are at work like this?
So if you're at work, and this is kind of more of my idea, is that if you're at work, let's say you're working an 8-hour shift and you're at a desk job. Well, if you're doing that at a desk job, you're focusing on how much you're getting done at that desk, meaning that within each of those hours, you can actually focus on one body part. So whether it's head, neck, whether it's shoulders, whether it's arms, which y'all might have felt a little bit of work on those arms, or if it's core, like you can focus on each thing throughout the day. So it's not just I have 2 minutes here, I have 2 minutes there. Like, think about it. If you take 2 minutes, and in most cases, you can take up to 10, depending on how much time you give yourself for a break each hour, which you should be, even if it's a bathroom break. Mm-hmm. Give yourself this time to go ahead and focus on that throughout the day. So that way, as you progress and as you continue, you'll hopefully not be as wound up and as stiff when you're sitting there in forward posture over.
Thank you. Yeah, because I know people like myself who move so fast. We think that we just stretch and then that's it, and we don't really give our muscles time to really respond in the way that we can identify some of the pain that you said, or even let alone just some of the tension, the contractions that we need to feel in order to make that muscle group work best for ourselves, right? So we're just constantly build, so I wanted to bring attention to the fact that we got to do this really slow, So it's one of my favorite moves anyway, because I like to feel like I'm Michael Jackson. I remember when he used to do that.
Love it. So continuing on and just making sure, yep, we're good on time still. So one of the things that I definitely want to continue with now is going into basically the torso or the chest. So when we think about that, think about your spine, okay? Now with your spine, you have normally an S shape as far as that curvature on the spine. So with those who have that forward posture, basically kyphosis, you're already going to be set from having that slight round that does happen at the top, but now it's going to be over exaggerated. So when it's over exaggerated because of driving for Uber or something like that, or if you're at the computer, or if you're just playing video games and you're in your really comfy chair, so it happens to all of us, you want to go ahead and focus on a few of these tricks that we've already been doing to help reduce some of that tension. So let's go ahead and focus, like I said, on that torso. Now, if you have something like, there we go. Let's say you got your cell phone. So if you have your cell phone and you're not using it to watch this video, or if you are, this actually might be really nice for you. You're going to go ahead and basically take it into your palms. And then you're going to go ahead and try and lock your fingers over if you can, or if your phone is like super long, just make sure that you're really pushing with the palms and you're pulling it forward. So still pulling forward like with the fingertips, but from here, we're going to be rotating through the torso. Now, when we do this, we're going to be starting with our hands down by our legs, by the couch, the floor, whatever. And you're basically going to rotate around. And as you continue, the arms are going to go up all the way above the head. And then you'll be able to go ahead and focus on looking left and right behind the arms. I know it sounds weird, but you're going to be able to get your arms up. The focus is breathing, because breathing is
essential.
There we go. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and take our phone. We're going to bring it down, and we're going to go ahead and start rotating. And you can take this as fast or as slow as you want, but I would recommend taking it slow. So from here, like I said, focusing on breathing at those extremes. Good, breathe. Good. One more. Keep going.
Ooh, I feel that.
I know, there's like so much restriction in there. Keep going. There we go. Continuing to rotate. Keep those arms reaching out. I know it's getting tough now. Keep breathing.
Breathing is essential, y'all. Y'all better breathe.
There we go. Breathe.
I be forgetting sometimes.
And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Keep reaching up and inhale. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Look behind you. And exhale. Inhale. Look behind you. And exhale.
Woo.
Roll those shoulders out if you need to. Shake out those arms.
Oh my.
What was that?
Oh my.
Yeah, it really gets you moving, right?
I'm done with you.
So there are definitely quite a few more exercises that you'll get to go ahead and focus on as you go ahead and join me for my sessions. You're able to do them virtually. You can do them in person. But imagine being able to get all of that through the entire body. That's what my program focuses on, is being able to really unlock and open up all of those channels so that way you can move and dance as free as you want. At the same time, you know, being able to breathe. I mean, think about it. COVID, it's a respiratory thing for a lot of us. Like, struggling to breathe is kind of an issue. Not only that, but also for those who smoke, who vape, like, I get it. It happens. And you have to be able to continue to breathe after that. Like, think about it. For those who have COPD, asthma, you know, being able to help actively combat some of those symptoms, you know, not just focusing on those causes, but those symptoms. So that way, if there is an asthma attack starting or anything like that, you can focus on building up that momentum to help rescue yourself. You know, also being able to take those nervous moments or some of those emotionally charged moments that trigger, and being able to actually focus on changing your mindset to say, I'm in control. I can do this. And using your body and using movement to help increase that.
You just said something that was like a full word. I don't know if anybody else caught it, but that was a full word, to rescue yourself. I'm like, oh, I'm trying. I might have this. Might be my new stretch after this. I gotta, because you just gave us a full word. Okay, can you speak a little bit more though, to this idea of how maybe this has rescued you? Because this is such a unique thing, right? These are basic movements, and some people are, not knocking anybody who goes to the gym or who's like constantly active, but you found something that what most people would say is very minimal, and you were able to expand on it. And I was wondering if you could speak to that some as a framework of also how, if we focus on sometimes the very overlooked thing, how it can also rescue us.
So for me, and this is kind of, wonderful, long drawn out story, so I hope you'll tune in. But for me, one of the things that I have always enjoyed was learning. I loved being able to learn, and education is huge. At the same time, my passions, music, dance, the arts, such a huge thing for me. And, of course, like everyone, wanting to be a pop star, wanting to be able to go ahead, travel and perform and do all that. And for a little bit of time I did, and still am. So that's kind of fun too. But I basically wanted to go into school for doing music. And because of wanting to do music, I was focusing on, okay, I have to be the best I can be. I can do this, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't understand the fundamentals as far as like what it really took to even just sing, let alone be able to be someone who is on stage killing it every night, like some artists like Miko. And just being able to really, take hold of what we're doing and get to that point. It's been difficult. I ended up dropping out of the school that I went to. I was at Columbus State University and was at the Schrobe School of Music. It was a very cutthroat school, and it was crazy because I dropped out of that program. There were a multitude of reasons. I was struggling. I had dealt with a couple of friends who had, dealt with suicide, those types of things. And it's crazy to deal with. And, not being able to really understand that, I didn't have a chance to really process that. So after dropping out of music, I felt like, okay, I'm a failure. Okay, I just have to do something else, or it's not going to happen. So it was like giving up. But with me going back to school, because I actually went back in for massage therapy.
Wow.
I was able to really remind myself of why I switched into health and fitness, why I love dance as much as I love singing, because all of that really has unlocked that ability for me to get back into what I love, which is singing.
Yeah.
And using a lot of these tricks that I'm showing you, I've been able to actually focus on, getting back to my singing voice, or to it being just, oh, this is, me, how I talk. Like, a lot of people don't listen to me when I change my voice. Like, I always talk about my food ordering voice or my airline voice, because I used to be a flight attendant. Sorry, y'all, I've done a lot
of ain't nothing wrong with being an educated hustler. If you know how to do it, you can do it. Look, we all been shafted in every different direction.
Telling you, it's Black History Month. Do it because you can.
Come on.
Do it because you can. Okay, so being able to take a lot of what I've learned and get to that singing voice, it really has helped for me to feel confident on stepping back on the stage. So yeah, it works.
I love that. I love that. Look, you're getting a lot of responses here from
I know
people
I haven't looked at any of them,
who
y'all.
are like
I'm
enjoying
sorry.
every bit of this, every bit of this, and you know, it's just, I think this is, this is a moment that I just, I really hope that we just had also your we put your business stuff up there so that if people want to do a session with you, I really recommend it. I'm with Kevin on Mondays, even if I'm on the East Coast. I wake up, I do what I got to do, set my time and my schedule. So I invite you, and if I invite you to just join them, sharing their energy, sharing the stretching, like really this, just reach and just touch and right and come down, ground yourself again, drop those shoulders, right? Do all of that because it's so simple, but it feels so good. As someone who does sing, I know the power why the breath is important. It's important to breathe. Breathing is essential. All of those different things. I want to, I know we got a few more minutes, and I want to, if y'all also have any questions or whatever, please feel free to ask. I'll read them out loud. One of the things, though, Kevin, is that I love doing this. Having you here. You're definitely like one of my non-binary twins, right? And so
Yeah.
we hold a very unique space when it comes to being gender diverse and sharing in gender inclusion and stuff. And so I'm when we think about our bodies and how we come to this moment, what do you feel as a person who's in this field that is hyper masculinity, and it can be very toxic at times with deep fitness and things. How do you manage to maintain your authentic self as a non-binary person doing this work to help other bodies, right? Do
So I have a story for y'all. Up until recently, I was actually a personal trainer at Planet Fitness. I know. So for me, having, the idea of being in a non-judgment zone was definitely great, wonderful. People should be able to work out. They should be able to have a space that is able to supply that. Especially with the prices and rates that they're doing. I mean, it's great. Like, wonderful. The one thing that I struggled with was not just being able to be myself, but be myself and still help, if that makes sense. Because even though I was in a judgment-free zone, I was still judging myself. So, everyone walks in with this whole stigma of, okay, I have to be, completely jacked with abs. I have to be, able to lose all this weight, blah, 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 Yes, in some cases, if we have to worry about medical conditions, we can bring weight into the game. But one thing that people kind of have to keep in mind too, it's not just about how much you weigh, it's about how you feel. It's about how you feel in your clothes. It's about how you feel when you walk up and down the stairs every day. It's about how you feel when you're getting ready to go to a class, a gym class, and you feel welcome in the room or not.
Yeah.
Like all of that. It's not just physical, it's mental, it's emotional, all of that, because wellness as a whole, it takes all of that.
Yeah.
So if you're not able to feed yourself the way that you should be able to, which is, giving yourself those beautiful, tasty, tasty entrees, and being able to actually get nourishment out of that, it's tough to do, but being able to get that is huge, and it starts a bigger chain than what people would normally think. I know I tend to get triggered around the thought of food. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it, can cause issues. So for me, I love cooking now because I focus on what I really want to enjoy, like what flavors I want.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
And see, I'm a foodie.
no, and that's the crazy thing. I am too. I love food, but at the same time, when I think about it, especially coming from that previous, personal training standpoint, like I have to be able to also, sit back and say, okay, I'm having this because it's delicious and I love it, not just, oh, I'm having this because I got to make sure I watch my weight, blah, blah, blah. Like it can all send people down a spiral sometimes. So
It,
avoid that.
Yeah, I just had really a whole food shift. Like, I don't know, my body just started communicating to me and just being like, cut back on your meat intake. Because if anybody knows this one right here, I am guilty for my red meat. I love look, and I am also deeply I don't know if y'all can hear it in Kevin's voice, but you can hear it in mine a bit every once in a while. I am Southern, so there's a part of me that still look. There's a thing called a swine blessing. I still believe in pork every once in a while, right? But lately things are shifting, and I've been eating more. I've moved into more of a pescatarian style of eating and more vegetables. And so I've noticed that the body just naturally, I'm a person who loves to listen to my body. I really love to listen. And I've had to do more of that. I especially started doing more of that after the transition of my father, who was literally healthy, fit as a fiddle. You wouldn't have known it to look at him. And then the next minute it was like in the hospital, right? And so we just never know. But it's like, it's just something very important for us to listen to our bodies. And I was wondering if you could speak maybe just to, the importance of, even amongst all that criticism that we give ourselves, how can we fortify or amplify? I love this word. Justice uses this word all the time, amplify the voices of our body's needs. How can we do that more? How do we get to that listening place instead of that criticism?
So one of the things that I've really enjoyed about this journey that I've had as far as my business is that I've gotten to really, focus on, okay, at the same time that I'm doing all of this, I do need to focus on me. I told myself when I started school that I wanted to be able to basically take all of, my past, my troubles, all of that, and finally, get get to a point where I could let it go, if that makes sense. Like
Yes.
I used to always have this stitch where I would have some family members who would always joke with me and say like, "Oh, you always talk with your hands. Why do you always talk with your hands?" Always, but it's because for me, with what I'm trying to convey, I'm trying to make it make sense. But I use my body with how I express. So if I'm having moments where, okay, emotionally, I'm tense, I'm fearful, blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of times I shrink in, even though I'm in a safe environment. And
Yeah.
it has things to do with past trauma, with past issues. A lot of people don't realize when you're in something that gives your body trauma, whether it's trauma from car accident, if it's trauma from an abusive relationship, if it's trauma from sex, if it's trauma from, natural disaster, like all of that trauma scars our body, and it scars our body in ways that we don't think. When you have certain like pinches in the neck,
Mm.
if you have certain back pains, like for me, I tend to have a lot of my back pain
Mm-hmm.
right here. And forgive me, I have super long arms, so I can touch right here. But right back here, I have a lot of restriction and stiffness and pain because of previous trauma.
Yeah.
And one of the things that happens is as I continue doing some of those mobility techniques, I'm able to say, okay, what am I holding on to? What am I stressing about? What am I holding on to? So when you're moving and you feel some of those restrictions, think about what are you holding on to? Like that's, and forgive me if I didn't completely answer the question, but I feel like I'm hitting on something. So
I'm gonna just let you talk to them. Go ahead.
You know, because of that, it causes a lot of challenges with our everyday life. So being able to take advantage of, those situations where I was uncomfortable or I didn't know how to express myself, being able to take those moments and use that awareness that I have now, I'm able to start dealing with that and processing it, because a lot of this stuff has to be processed. And like, it's gotten me to the point where I'm comfortable with definitely going to see a therapist or to talk through these actions on my own, but it gives me a lot more power.
Yeah.
More tools in the toolbox. That's the whole name of the game. So there we go. Look, my light one had cut out there. I was like, you're done.
Look. Well, you know what? Let me tell you. Everyone, if you're watching this for the first time, I'm really, really excited that you had a chance to join us today. This whole type of moment of, look, I don't want to mess up the word. So we're it's not telekinesis, because y'all know we ain't trying to read nobody's mind, but we're trying to do something else.
So kinesic opportunity.
Kinesic opportunity. So look, we're going to put that in the chat. I want you to feel comfortable reaching out, maybe schedule an appointment. Say you saw this show on Transverse and kick it with us. I want to also, I think what I'm reading here looks like we've had 29 new people kind of join in and kick in. So that's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Welcome. I also want to acknowledge I definitely want to acknowledge our mod team for keeping, of course, all the trolls and the folk from, intruding and trying to penetrate this community, but also protecting us with compassion, with love and courageousness. So thank you to the mod team. I also want to let you know, look, y'all got to stay tuned, okay? Now, look, I know my show go off, and then y'all be like, okay, I'm done. You ain't done, sweetheart. We ain't done with this Transverse show. Look, we got the transgender show coming up. And look, we got so much happening where I'm so excited. The TikTok creator and trans youth activist, Corey Skiller, is with Emily tonight. Okay, so y'all need to stay tuned and stay with us, right? Because Corey's got a unique history where that began when he was in at like 21 years ago of age. And I'm telling you, this young person is doing some serious work. So I want to make sure that y'all love yourself in the process. That's what this show is about. We got to do some love here before we can do it out there, right? And so look, self-care is culture care. That's how we do this work. And I really appreciate y'all. So look, get registered if you feel like you want somebody to kind of help you get into a routine. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of structure. Some of us like to use the word discipline, whichever one fits you. I offer you structure, so I invite you to use Kevin. Kevin is a brilliant individual, beautiful being. As you can see, look, I'm just gonna call it like it is. Blackness is beautiful, honey. It just works very well on you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You love right now.